Everybody get your fucking hands up.
Everybody, today I'm bringing you a little bit more of a day in the life podcast, and we're going to get started here at 5:50 a.m. like I normally do. But note that typically when my days start like this, today's the only exception that I start like this because I have an interview for a little job to pick up some side cash over the summer, so that's the reason. And yeah, let's get into it. Starting out, morning stretches. I always like to, especially during the summer, because I typically keep my days kind of intense activity, especially because in this program I'm trying to cut a little bit of weight. I'm coming in about 10 pounds heavier than I normally would during this off season that I was expecting, so. Because there's people walking on it, but I'll take this time to sit, think, and really focus on what I want to do today and accomplish. Warming up, I do a pretty standard warm-up routine of just simple little jogs, stretches, stuff like that. This is just to get me primed before I get into the really stretch stuff. Next up, as you can see, I'm doing my hammer turns, and when I'm doing these hammer turns, I'm really focusing on what I'm trying to do in the throw. So today, for instance, I happened to find a certain position that I liked, and that was getting down while rotating around. And previous to this, I would focus on one or the other, but doing them together, I saw probably the best results that I possibly could. Now I'm getting into the throw, and when I'm getting into the throw, I typically like to do winds, these little warm-up winds. They help you get your shoulders loose, help you get everything loose, get used to working with the hammer. And during the summer, this is especially important because this is where I make most of my progress. Now, getting into the actual day of throwing, I won't have you guys sit through the entire throw here. Just explain some few things. When I'm throwing, typically I like to set a goal. So I'll start like 50% for 2 throws, 60% for another 2 throws, 70% for another 2 throws, and then today I went up to like 75, 80%. I was really trying to focus on finding a position that I liked, and I found it, and I think from there I basically started amping it up the whole day, trying to find those positions again. And this is the throw I really liked. If you guys watch, I'm able to get down a lot better. Typically I'll get done with my workout around 10 a.m. I want to say. Typically I'll get done with my workouts around 10:30, and this is when I shower. But again, I have lift today as well, and I'm gonna try to keep it a lot of cardio heavy, so I have to get a lot of rest in between there, get some calories in me, and just overall relax and flow. Between this time and lifting time, I'll take this time to check some emails. I might code a little bit if I want to, but it's kind of break time. And again, just checking my emails. You don't know how to play some music like this, whatever I have on my phone, but this is the time I want to stress that you get a lot done in the day if you can, if you wake up early enough. And another thing I want to stress about this, especially being as an engineering student, I have to take this time and get ahead over the summer so I'll have time to do track and school when the semester comes. And this is why summers for me are typically more busy than semesters sometimes, especially during the day, because it's not assignments based, especially even if I work, which I will, but even if I do like the interview, I'll probably end up working at a summer job over the summer in like a week. It's still so demanding to self-learn over the summer, more than I would have ever thought at first, but especially I think about 2 years ago when I first got there, I noticed that the demand was so great. I was like behind when I was like, if you're doing track and you're doing a STEM major, you're behind unless you get ahead early. And again, today I'm just fixing some lunch, keep it kind of calorie neutral, especially because I'm trying to lose some of the weight that I've gained over the past, I want to say, semester. Typically, I'm coming in about 10 pounds heavier than I normally would, so in this case, I think I'm just fixing a tuna sandwich and some barbecue. I want to say to you guys before I leave this is that typically coming into the summer I was expecting to be around 280, except I came in around 290. So again, I'm going to try to expand on that. In the summer I like to start off with a little bit less weight than I usually do and then try to build up that weight and muscle as it goes through the summer. But this summer I started out, again, as I've already stated, too heavy, so today it's just tuna, barbecue, and typically that's what I'll keep my meals like, especially not only because of the health portion, but just because of the calorie portion in general. Tuna is a great choice for low calorie, and the pulled pork is another kind of protein option with low calorie, and I think I'm going to have some fiber here with a little bar. But yeah, that looks delicious. I want that again actually. Now, coming into break time, this is the time that it's probably about 45 minutes out from lifting. I'll take this time to check my texts, check my calls, do anything I need to do, and relax and eat my meal. But I think it's important to have this little time, whatever time you can, even if it's just 15 minutes before lifting or 30 minutes before lifting. If you can just relax your mind, de-stress, not think about much, and Rocky, one of my dogs here, joined me for lunch today, so that was always good to have some company. Now, getting into lifting, this is interesting section. Like I said, this is more my conditioning phase before I get into strength building phase. So today I'm doing a simple dynamic warm-up. I'm doing some band pull apart, some planks. I'll probably do some bench press, and I think I do some jump squats here. But yeah, like I said, the lifts themselves, we'll see. Yeah, typically I'm going really light, and I'm trying to go for reps, but not too much because I don't want to overstress, and then I get hungry, and then I overeat. And again here, just doing some snatches, pretty light snatches. This is a warm-up set, I believe. Yep. Snatches are a great exercise for me. I'm a little bit hesitant on the Olympic lifts this year and on bench press, as you'll see today. So that's why also I kind of keep it light, just because I don't want that hand fucking up. I don't want to get re-injured. I don't want to have to deal with all that again, because if you guys don't know, a tendon in my hand, or should I say the casing around the tendon in my hand, is partially torn, so it's not the most stable muscle to use, and a muscle in your hand, when it's not stable, then my grip starts to give out, and once your grip starts giving out, dangerous things happen. So I'm typically keeping it light. Now onto the bench press. As you see, it's pretty light today. I think this is only 50%. I'm going at 50% for 4 sets of 8, I believe. And like I said, just repping it out what I can, making sure my hand's good, making sure everything just feels good, and I'm able to get through it without being injured. Moving on to the next. I typically like to include flies. During the season, and I usually don't do many flies, but in the off season, I just feel that flies definitely help my disc progression, build up that strength in the tendon, being able to get back and stretch forward. And then I'll be moving on to reverse flies, I guess you could call them, but essentially all I'm doing is 3 sets of 8 here too, or something like that. Next, I'll move on. This is when I start getting more cardio intensive at the end here. These are 20-pound med ball slams. I don't have a med ball that bounces up at me, so I have to slam it and then pick it back up, but still works the same. And I think I'm doing 4 sets of 8 here again, or 4 sets of 10, I can't remember. Next, one of my favorite exercises, if any of you know me, is definitely curls. I love doing curls all day. I like the burn you get in your arms, but essentially, this is one of my fun exercises. So I have all those main exercises actually utilizing something, and then I'll definitely add curls in every few days, or I really try to do it every other day. I add curls in just to spice it up, add some fun into it. Now, moving on, I have sprints. So, funny story about this. I used to be a big fan of running, 5Ks, or at least, especially in the summer, I usually try to run miles every day. But at school, one of my buddies and my throwers, Jacob Volbert, introduced me to, or not introduced, but told me instead of running, which I really preferred, to do sprints. And it's a little bit more cost utilizing and building up more explosive power rather than with running. And it gets the same thing done. Heart rate still gets up. So, yeah. Now, 4:30 p.m. we're getting into the kind of midday section of my day. So most of my workouts are done right now. The only thing I'll probably do for the rest of the day is check technique, text my coach, look at technical analysis, and do some math. And just like that, like I said, I'm moving on to math. What I want to stress importantly, especially if you're an engineer like I am, today I'm reviewing delta functions. There's so much that they don't teach you in school that's really important. So like delta functions we covered maybe a day on just because it wasn't important in engineering, but it's always important to go back, redo your memory, and if you love it like I do, it becomes kind of almost like reading a book, literally. Just look at the problems, do them, but try the best you can to do them. Even if you get them wrong, you just have to try. The important thing is trying, and even if you're wrong, understand where you're wrong and correct it. And that's how you just get better every time. Now it was cool that you guys saw that. I actually just picked up the guitar after like a year of not playing, so I was happy to know that the dexterity was there. Some of the songs I don't quite remember, as you can probably tell. The notes are wrong, but I have the general sound of it. And after this, typically for dinner, again I'm having the pulled pork, but I think I have some potato salad with it this time. And in this case, it just so happens to be that I'll probably play a game, or in this case I think I'm watching something, but this is probably like the most end of my day I can probably explain. After this, I really just either play games or watch a movie till I go to sleep around 10 to 10:30. And yeah, that's my summer day for you guys. If you enjoyed it, like and subscribe, and if you want more, just let me know. Peace out.